Hi, this is Dr. Stephen Newhart with Science-Based Body, and this is the Economic Fitness Podcast channel. On this channel, we are going to provide you with ways to keep your body and mind in top peak physical condition in an environment of sedentary work environments. It is our perspective that blood flow is equal to cash flow. And if you cut off the blood flow, you cut off the cash flow. We hope you enjoy our information. Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning into the Economic Fitness Podcast channel. I'm Dr. Stephen Newhart. You're here at the Vigor Active Studio in Fort Worth, Texas. I have a wonderful guest today with me, Alex Alcantar. Alex has become a good friend of mine recently, and I just wanted to have her on and talk about what she's doing, talk about how she uses exercise, which she loves resistance training from what I've recently learned, how she uses resistance training to help her day-to-day life, and a little project that the two of us are working on together. Yes. But the most important thing, I'd love to hear about her background. So if you wouldn't mind, go into a little bit of your background. How'd you get started? And start like day one, early ages. Yeah, that's when it all happens.
Well, I'm a Fort Worthian. I've been here pretty much all my life. Mm-hmm. I have, three brothers and one sister, and we're just, your typical family that was raised with the background of putting in a lot of hard work and really trying to just achieve the American dream.
Yes.
And so I went to TCU, got a full scholarship there out of high school.
Wow.
And majored in kinesiology. So
yeah,
we found that
we have that in common.
We have that in common. That was very very interesting to come across with your background. And then I started managing clinics at a pretty young age, and I fell in love with it. Mm-hmm. I fell in love with being able to help clinics thrive and grow and be able to really give people access to good healthcare. And I became very passionate about it. And so I founded my company along with my business partner about 2.5 years ago called Alliance Medical Partners. And so now we go and help doctors help increase revenue, specifically independent physicians, so that they can continue to provide good health care and help their businesses continue to expand. And
that's phenomenal, because we need that. We need that so much. I've always been on the side of natural treatment, and I think to myself, okay, if you have the right knowledge on what you're eating and then you're moving your body enough with some purpose, maybe it's cardiovascular in nature, maybe it's resistance training in nature, what you're doing, at least you can kind of fight off chronic disease in general. But with where we're at now, I don't think you can kind of just say that to actually you can't. Statistically speaking, you can't just say that to everybody and it's going to work. So It's great that you're trying to do what you're doing. I'm excited to meet you because I'm ready to merge our two industries together, and we can kind of bring the listeners up onto what that means. And it really just spans around economic fitness, actually, right?
Right. And the theory behind what you're trying to do goes right in line with my vision, because, growing up, I did a lot of natural medicine. My family is from Mexico, so my grandmother, my mom till this day, if the baby was crying, you give them a tea or, things of that nature. And so I grew up around it all my life. And, where I was born in Mexico, so where we're from, there's, again, a lot of household remedies that work. And so here, in the U.S., holistic medicine or integrative medicine is not necessarily readily available to everybody. And, part of my passion of helping doctors grow is to be able to have different sources of income. And one of them can be through the use of supplementation or therapeutic exercises that they can incorporate into their clinics. And so, when I met you, it became very just straightforward that we both could create systems to help, more people have available to more alternative medicine, and then more physicians integrate some of those practices into what they're currently doing.
Now, when doctors will, accept kind of like a supplement, then maybe you're saying, hey, use this supplement instead. Now, is that going to fall in line with the insurance billing, or are they going to kind of have like a cash type thing over to the side? Is that kind of how that works?
Most of it is cash. And you can see if some of it may be reimbursable through different insurance companies, specifically more of your shared plans like MediShare, or there's a few more self-funded plans that are pushing their members to take care of themselves through alternative medicine, for the most part, it's covered. It's not covered under insurance. However, you and I both know that there are other alternative treatments, not necessarily supplements, but treatments that can help patients increase their ability to have integrative care, and the physicians able to use their insurance. So, for example, physical therapy. We're very familiar with physical therapy. Physical therapy for patients that have back pain, can be pretty available around their neighborhood.
Sure.
And a lot of people don't know that physicians can actually also do physical therapy in their offices,
Right. Sure.
without the use of a physical therapist.
Sure.
Now, physical therapists are probably going to jump on me a little here because, we're saying that they're not a specialist. But I think that there can be some kind of fine line between what you can do in the office and then when to actually refer them to a specialist. And so things of that nature can be covered by insurance. So instead of the person walking in with back pain automatically be given a tramadol or some kind of synthetic pain relief medicine, they can incorporate things such as vibration therapy, massage therapy, muscular re-education through basic exercises, yoga therapy, or stretches. And that is reimbursable by the insurance. And it is an alternative / holistic way of treating the patient.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. And so when she brought in whole body vibration a second ago, we're working on a project together where we actually will deliver vibration platforms to physicians so that they can perform therapy using the device and then bill and collect doing so. And so my perspective, why I think exercise can heal everything. I think chronic disease, a lot of it's caused by the food supply. You read Dee McCaffrey's book, Science of Skinny. She'll go through, okay, well, this is in our food supply and it's massively harmful to your body. And if you consume it for long enough, it's going to, everyone is going to pass away. Let's not say it's going to kill you. So it's going to speed up that rate. Okay. So you have all these things peppered in the food supply. Those that are highly active seem to metabolize this garbage. And so as long as you're active, you can metabolize it. So if most chronic disease is caused by this, if we intervene with our vibration platform and get people to be treated on it an hour, 3 days, or 1 hour, 3 times a week, which is what we're actually going for with that, I think we can start reversing some of these chronic diseases, which is very, very exciting. And then, we could go back to the food again. It has caused some psychological things. So we have to intervene with like the TMS or the neurofeedback, things like that.
Well, and not just it speeds up necessarily, like you're saying, comorbidities, right? Or your mortality rate, highly decreases it when we know that you have diabetes, hypertension, and some of the other illnesses that you can develop from that. But your quality of life completely diminishes also. I mean, with being overweight, then now you have joint pain, knee pain, back pain. If you're in your mid 30s to early 40s, which many people can say that they have 1 or 2 of those things that hurt, now you're not able to be as active with your kids. I mean, some simple things as even rolling out of bed can be depressing. Yeah. And so it's, it would be, I'm going to throw this out there. If you die, you die, you don't feel it. But if you continue to live, then you fall into the depression.
Yes.
And depression is one of the top illnesses in the U.S. that we're trying to battle now. So it all kind of puzzles together, and we have to be able to look at ourselves as a whole. We can't compartmentalize different illnesses. And I think that that's one of the, I would say, the hardest things for people to understand. Right? When you come into an office and you're talking to your physician, if your head hurts, if your shoulder hurts, we want to fix that in that moment, but we're not really looking at the root cause of why it is hurting and what's contributing. So you put that with also the pressure that we see from social media. We have all these different things that are storming in people's heads, and ultimately, it just leads to people being unmotivated about anything that they really want to set their mind to. So
what I love about this conversation we're having right now, we're discussing the portion of the population that I usually don't see in here in the gym. And they're the ones that need the most help. So I can't wait for the day that we can deliver something cost effective, as you've said, for them that can be done through their physician and we can reverse these
And they
these
can do it at
conditions.
home.
Exactly.
One of the things that I'm really excited about vibration therapy is that you're able to accomplish very similar results as if you were running, jogging, even walking. And so you're able to tap into populations that may not have, one, the funds to go to the gym because it's covered by their insurance. Two, we're helping decrease whatever it is, physiological and medical problem that they may have. May not be able to get rid of it, but even we're able to help them to move 50% better than they did the day before. That's a win on its own.
Of course.
Sometimes we have to realize that illness is progressive and it can be regressive also. But some people have progressed to the point where if we can keep them from progressing further, that on its own is a win.
Sure. Well, just to bring in I'll just talk about one result of my study and then compare it to a study that I read. Okay, so my studies obviously all incorporated vibration, body weight. No, there was small movement, but it was not exercise movements. It was just positions. And then I compared it to a full-on resistance training study where they were applying 85% of the people's max to these motions that they were doing. I measured leg extension strength in my study, and this study that used resistance training, they measured leg extension strength too. The leg extension strength in the resistance training study, using 85% of max for about 3 sets of 8, 3 times a week, same days per week, was about 25%. In my study, it went up on an average of 46%.
Wow.
Why? It was massively, I questioned why. Why in my study, when these people were just on this vibration platform with their body weight doing simple motions, did they increase leg strength, or at least we say quadricep strength, right? Leg extension. 46%. When over here, a traditional weight training program does about 25%. There's obviously something else going on there. And if we can deliver that kind of a result, that means, as far as those two studies goes, like the same female population, I had a lot of females in my studies. If we know that, we can say it's actually double as effective in improving quadricep strength than traditional weight training.
Right.
So therefore, I can deliver to the home, have the person on it 3 days a week for an hour, of course, follow the same as we did in the study, and we can, on average, see a 46. That was average. Some people, some of the subjects were higher.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was.
I'm very interested in I'm buying my vibration therapy plates. And so I'll have to challenge you because I do like weight training. I have been lifting weights for a pretty long time now, consistently on and off, here and there. I get in my slumps, like I think most of us do. And I just absolutely love it, mostly because, again, for me, it's my go-to place. It's the 1 hour in my day that I can focus on being stronger, having measurable results. Do I want to look better? Absolutely, right? I want to have the figure that most us women can probably picture in our heads. But more than anything, when you do strength train, you can measure yourself before. And it's so empowering to be able to, squat 100 pounds and then the following week 110 and so forth, and really be able to push your body to the limits of what you can do and compare it to yourself versus anybody else. One of the interesting things that you said, Stephen, that again has driven my passion to help both physicians and patients, specifically here in our community, is, like you said, the people that I look around when I come to your gym, you can tell that they are able to afford this type of training, this type of care. You don't see this in your typical neighborhood gyms, right? You have a more elite type of clientele here and atmosphere, which is phenomenal.
Yep.
And that happens in healthcare as well. When you're looking at the type of healthcare or the quality of healthcare that is available and as a resource for communities that are not in your more middle income to upper income, it's very different.
Yeah.
And when I started working at the wellness center, I can publicly say that, the patients that were coming were people that could afford $200 to $300 visits because, it's public record on our website.
Of course.
And the supplements could range anywhere from $100 to $200 a month. And it was very disheartening that my family themselves couldn't have access to such a physician, such a wonderful physician that truly cared about the patient's well-being. Yeah. Not saying that the physicians that are practicing in these neighborhoods don't care about their patients.
Of course.
However, I feel like we can do more as a community to bring awareness to alternative medicine, alternative healing practices that can be affordable for communities all across the nation. So that's my overall, goal in life, is to be able to hopefully open nonprofit centers where we can raise enough, funds to be able to offer things such as rehab therapy to those that are uninsured, alternative, maybe acupuncture treatments or herbal medicine or supplements that they have just as much access to that anybody that lives, across the street from them.
I think that's our common goal. Actually, we'll definitely work towards that together and get to that point, because you're very much correct on that. And with my business partners in this new venture, I think that we're actually even going to be delivering something that is affordable for everyone, and it's about time that we got there. So I look forward to the future, and look forward to the future of working with you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming on. Before we go, what's your favorite exercise?
Oh, wow.
Lifting. What's your favorite lifting exercise? Let's just have a little fun with it. What do you said squat, but is it the squat?
Oh no, I hate squats. I probably really enjoy leg presses.
Okay, good.
And I also really like leg extensions. You mentioned leg extensions, so I like leg extensions. I really like working on my legs. I always felt like I was very broadly shaped for a female. So I really neglect my upper body because.
Well, I gave you a hug a second ago, and I mean, your arms are there. Yes, the muscles are there without doing much for them. But I love building the lower body as well.
I love lower legs.
And it should always be a focal point for kind of everybody, because it's going to burn the most calories. And,
does
and
it
I
really?
always
I
tell
didn't know that.
It does, because they're the biggest muscle groups. And I always tell people, you're walking around on them all day.
Yeah.
That's why they're the most important. I mean, you think about aging and having this shuffle type of gait when you get older. If you're moving your legs and exercising with them, that won't happen. So simply stated, we should all be on some sort of good leg routine. And
well, I just got a standing desk, so hopefully that'll help also. I'm trying to incorporate more movements. Being a business owner, we work, and I know we work all hours a day, wake up at 5:30, 6, don't stop working till 8 o'clock. A lot of my time is spent driving. And a lot of my time is spent driving past a lot of McDonald's and Whataburger. It's really hard to, stop, out of your a little bit healthier options. So I'm trying to incorporate more movement into my body all around, or my life, so that I can just, also be somebody that can talk to you, and you can see that I'm putting in the work.
Of course.
And I don't want people that are. I'm trying to give advice about being healthy, and I don't represent that myself.
I interviewed a doctor from Southlake earlier, and he said the same thing. I say the same thing. All of us are constantly working on ourselves. I brought up, if we can't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of other people. That is one of the most important things. So I love to give people little reasons why, hey, jump out of that sedentary lifestyle, okay? Because you can't help others. I know you want to. I know you do. You can't do it if you're not taking care of yourself. So start taking care of yourself, and then we can start taking care of everybody else around us, and essentially just improve the state of America, right? I think is a lot of our goal as well. So
yeah, I think one by one, if you're able to motivate one person every day to live a healthier lifestyle, to have more balance in their life, to get up and move, to just make them smile for the day. I think that should be our common goal.
Yeah.
We don't have to make drastic changes or motivate somebody to go from point A to point Z, but if we're able to just give them a little bit of hope in whatever area they're struggling in, then I think it's worth it.
That's right. Well, hey, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
You are an inspiration. And as a fellow kinesiologist, I admire you, of course. So thank you for your time.
Well, thank you. I'm very, very excited about what we're trying to do in Fort Worth, and
we'll get it done.
Yeah, I think that hopefully our listeners can stay updated, and we can show some good progress the next time we sit down and talk.
We will talk to them again together as a team. So thank you guys for all tuning in to Economic Fitness, and we'll see you next time.